I have bars now. So hello and welcome to special one shot of Burning Wheel, hosted or run by the illustrious Judd Carlman. I've never played Burning Wheel with Judd, and I'm super excited to.
Awesome.
We lost some of our scoundrels tonight. They'll be back with us next week. So instead of blades, we're gonna do Burning Wheel. And Judd sent me over this list of one shots, which had some great campaign ideas, great little kickers. And I picked my top three, and I'm going to paste them in chat and let y'all decide
Nice.
what we should do, since, it's an interactive medium.
Yeah.
So idea the first. Yeah. What? Okay. Humans are crowning their first king, building their first city. Should elves guide them or end them? It's got a very like Vulcan,
Yes.
first contact vibe to it.
Yeah.
So I'm digging that.
I feel like there's like a King Arthur vibe in that one too that I kind of dig.
Yeah, right. Like you could also, well, there's certainly like sort of the association of like the Fae and like how much the ethereal creatures want to interfere with humans. No, why not both? Because this is Burning Wheel, and in Burning Wheel, you make a decision. Your beliefs are challenged. I mean, sure, I guess you could guide them and then end them, but this is a one-shot game, so we're gonna pick a thing. But we'll pick any game.
And I mean, you keep saying that word one shot, but I found it's nice to have like a game in our pocket for when other people can't make it.
You're right. You know what I don't know the word for is a one-on-one game, and that's what I keep meaning to say. You're right. I don't mean one shot.
I believe they're called dates, Sean. The one-on-one games are called dates.
This is called. So Judd and I are on a date.
We're on a date.
We're on a date. And on this date, we're gonna play through one of these situations.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So the second one is the Dwarven prince is in debt to the Guilders, and now the debt is past due. You were sent to collect. I love this because it's super imminent, and because I have absolutely been that person being like, as a project manager, so your draft was due like 3 months ago. What's the deal? Yeah. Matthew, you're totally right. It is not decided until the end. You're absolutely right. I get defensive about Burning Wheel, where I'm like, no, it has to be a thing. Like Burning Wheel is so like always about challenging beliefs. So,
yes.
Yeah. Oh, Andy, you also said a date. Thank you. Yeah. And then the third idea is you're a shoeless peasant. The armies of the dwarves, elves, and humans will soon clash near your home. What do you do? So, chat, let's take the next like minute or two.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what y'all think. I listed these ideas because I love them all. So none of these would be bad for me. But I'm excited to see what people think. So tell us if you have a preference. I didn't number them. I numbered the first one, and then I didn't number the next two. But you guys can figure it out. Idea number one, idea number two, idea number three. I have no way of taking a poll. At least I don't know any way of taking a poll. So just tell me. There's only a handful of people here. So that means you get individual attention. That means your voice has a say. And if you don't say anything, I'll just pick one. Or Judd will pick one.
Yeah.
John says number two because I've been a project manager. Yeah. All right. I'm going to pop out chat so that my computer does not slow to a crawl. Okay. All right. Ba-dum. Things are going. Sky jamming 1/2. 1 or 2.
Okay.
Oh, I get it. Cool. 1 or 2. All right. I'm taking that as a vote for each. So far, I just popped out chat and then I lost all the history. So, Judd, did you tell me?
That's it so far.
I like them all.
No, we got 2 votes that go for 3.
Oh yeah, okay. I feel like Andy's vote is like a vote and a half. I mean, that wasn't just 3. That was 3.
That's true. It was very emphatic.
Yeah. I could dig being a peasant. And I don't think I've made peasant characters before. I've made a bunch of different ones, but I don't think I've made peasant characters. All right. All right. Matthew, I feel like that's another vote for 3, so that's what we're doing.
Shoeless Peasant?
Shoeless Peasant.
Now, the cool thing about going in with the Shoeless Peasant idea is you save 1 point in your resource points automatically because you do not have to buy shoes.
Nice.
Done. You can also totally like have a belief that's like, hey,
I will get some
shoes. Cool to get shoes. It'd be really cool to get shoes. I'm not saying I need them, but I'm just saying.
Saying shoes would be groovy. All right, so I pulled together a Roll20 game in the. I pulled together a Roll20 game like 2 seconds ago, so I don't know how well this is going to show up when we. Oh, you know what? I can use the cool transition mode thing, studio mode, and I can actually preview it, so I don't show you guys all something that looks awful. It looks awful, yeah. Let's see if I can change that. I can. This is okay. So the great thing is you don't have to see the ugliness. The downside is that you have to watch me talk to you about not seeing the ugliness. But we work with what we got, right? Okay. So awesome. So this is the character generator that Judd linked me to. The URL for it we'll post in Chatty Chat. Shoes are a betrayal of your bucolic roots.
Nice.
Instinct, always be looking for shoes. When you see shoes, put them on. In good instinct.
There you go.
I feel like I could get behind that.
Or even better, never wear shoes.
Never. I'm getting images of Die Hard right now.
Oh yeah,
like totally. Constantly striving for shoes. All right. So the great thing is the very first life path. It looks like Bina was the randomly generated name. So I'm gonna take that. Take Bina. I like that. I'm gonna take stock as man. That seems like that's the right stock to have for peasant. How many life paths do you want to do, Judd?
As many as you want.
All right.
I just don't even care.
I'm gonna say peasant setting, born peasant.
Right.
Let's take that.
Yeah.
And then my options. Now this is me not having looked at Burning Wheel in a long time, and so yeah. I know there are like really smart options. Like I know they're like way better than other paths, but I don't have the book in front of me.
I do.
I should probably remedy that. So I'm just gonna pick off of this list. Lazy Stay About sounds pretty good, honestly. It's probably a terrible life path, but I've been sitting on
skills, lazy wise, peasant wise, wife wise, work wise.
Those are the skills.
Yeah, and your
four wises.
Your trait is a little bit fat, which I like. I like that we'll have a chubby hero. That's good. We don't get many chubby protagonists in the medieval milieu.
Yeah. I think I'll take that as my first life path.
Sounds good.
Lazy Stay About. And there we go. And that leads into outcast, servitude, or soldier. But I was gonna stick with peasant, but either servitude or soldier. I think soldiers have shoes. Soldiers have to have shoes.
Maybe if you're a conscript, or you could have had shoes and you've lost them since.
That's true. Let's look at servant and cat. Let's look at servant and captive setting.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is doing a little bit of world building right now.
Cool.
I think a servant setting would dictate that wars have been fought before.
Yeah.
And that people go back and forth between various clans, tribes, whatever.
Awesome.
And while the wars were fought between the humans, that was just a thing that happened. And I think by Bina, by her just sort of like, by basically being like easy, like not having a job and not being out in the fields, when the last sort of raiding party came through, she was taken as a captive of war.
Yeah.
And so I get cell-wise, chain-wise, claustrophobic, and if I want it, resigned to fate.
Cool.
And so that would make Bina 20 years old. No, it would make her 21 because of switching life paths, right? You spend a year to go. It says 20 up top, but I'm pretty sure she's, well, it doesn't matter. She's still young.
So we've got born peasant, lazy stay about, and then captive of war.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's a smart choice. I mean, that tells me that we've already had a lot of conflict, and the conflict was pretty normal, and that so I guess my question is she still a captive, or has she come out? Let's see what other sort of options there are. She could be a ditch digger. What does ditch digger have? Ditch digging, sing, boss wise, blisters, backbreaking labor. She could be a laborer, farming, mending, sing, hauling, driving, fall grass wise, hope. That's pretty good. What's a bondsman look like? Nah, I don't want to look at another life path. Figure out who I'm a bond to. Not down with harem slave.
No, I think no. That's a little good.
Yep. Agreed. Soothing platitudes. Ooh, oh, this is good. Soothing platitudes and gossip wise. Mind-numbing work. Okay, so tell me what you think. Lazy stay about at home. I mean, she was like 8 to 15. She just like, didn't do a lot.
Yeah.
Was captured by a neighborhood by another clan of humans, and was a captive for a long time, and then was essentially like never paid. Net ransom was never paid. So instead of going back, she just became a servant.
Nice.
And that's where I'm like, servant or field laborer, but I feel like servant makes more sense because if you're like in, like, I don't think that either of these places are much more than like villages. Like these aren't grand cities or whatnot. So a prisoner was just like, we quickly put to work because it was just like, no, it's too expensive to just have somebody in a wooden pen, eating food and not contributing anything. So yeah, and I think Bina figured out how to, vis-a-vis soothing platitudes and gossip wise, how to at least get herself a position of not being locked up anymore, of being free-ish. Cool. I think I'm gonna do 4 life paths and start it there. She'll be 25.
And she'll be a servant?
And she's a servant, yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay, so I have 16 physical traits and 7 mental. I think perception is important for Bina, so we're gonna do higher perception than will. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if there's any benefit to having anything but like a pretty rounded. What's it look like if I just go even across the board?
Yeah, I think straight fours across the board is the way to go.
Yeah, I feel like it's a strong. Okay, cool. Definitely not doing any grayscale tolerances, so don't have to worry about that. Health. Okay. Does the character live in squalor or filth? Yeah.
Okay.
She did.
Yeah.
For a long time. Is the character frail or sickly? No, she is not. She is
cool.
She's a little bit fat. She's still like has the character severely wounded in the past? No. Has the character ever been tortured and enslaved? She's been captured. She hasn't been tortured.
Okay.
Is the character athletic and active? Maybe. I don't really feel it. Does the character live in a really clean, happy, nice place? Like, oh, no, she doesn't.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay. Yay. Health down to 2. Yikes. All right. Steel. Let's check this out. Not anymore. Has the character ever been severely wounded? Hold on. How did I answer this previous question? Because I think has the character been severely wounded in the past? I said no there, so
nope.
Has the character ever murder or kill someone? Has the character ever murder or kill someone with their own hand more than once? No. Has the character been tortured, enslaved, or beaten terribly over time? No. Has the character led a sheltered life? No. Has the character been led in a competitive but non-violent? Yes. She's definitely, I think she's been led in a competitive and violent culture, but it's certainly competitive. So I think that the various clans fight over lots of stuff.
Awesome.
Has the character given birth to a child? She's 25. Yeah, I think she has a child by now.
Nice.
Got some steel there. And skills. All right. Okay, I definitely want to max out that soothing platitudes. That's some good stuff right there. We'll take wife-wise. Take work-wise. Take gossip-wise for surezies. I don't know that I want chain-wise. I figure chain-wise is like working on a chain gang kind of thing.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah. And probably just knowing your way around chains and and various things that are done with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take peasant-wise. Okay, there we go. So I unlocked everything except for chain-wise, and I bumped up soothing platitudes and gossip-wise. Because that's frankly like where I feel like I'm gonna have some now I have the awful job of looking through every single bloody general skill and figuring out what she's doing. So so Judd, you have any thoughts about like what kind of so far from what we've done, do you have any thoughts about what kind of work people do? Like, do you want to do like a coastal area where fishing would happen, or partially underground area where like mining or a quarry or something like that? I'm trying to think of like what would be a good skill that she would pick up as a servant, or even along the way. There's just so many, like it's hard to.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what kind of area where the dwarves and the elves clash, you know? And I don't know, I'm picturing like a crossroads in the middle of a plain, you know?
I think we might have some like mountains up in the north, some really Frosty Mountains up in the north, like a giant forest in the south, and like this fertile plains land where like generally the humans just kind of squabble amongst each other. They're kind of unaware about the greater powers that are like a little bit like their ants that just no one ever took the time to step on.
Cool.
From the cool. So the premise is Bina is the only one who knows that, well, maybe not the only one who knows, but she is the one that let me go back to this. She's the one that knows that that they're all coming. So I'm going to look for a skill that would justify her. Oh, I know what I'm going to take. I'm going to take stealth, because I think she snuck out at night. Awesome. And that's how she found out. She found out about this. She snuck out so she could go smoke or not have to work or do other things.
Yeah.
And
if you're serving some like night or something, maybe that's a good way to like, sneak around without waking anybody up.
Yeah.
And just like a way of being considerate, not necessarily even shady.
Right. All right. So I added stealth, and I have, I'm out of general points. Oh, I spent all my points. Yikes. Okay. We'll drop down. We'll drop down soothing platitudes, and we'll bump up stealth. Okay. I thought I had only spent my life path points. This little crater is really,
it's cool.
It's pretty cool. Okay. Traits. A little fat. Claustrophobic. Specific phobia applied in closed space. A character affected this trait will not willingly enter spaces like prison cells, closets, tunnels, trunks, or even cramped rooms. That should be great for dungeon delving. If she could find herself in an enclosed space for a long period of time, it becomes agitated and hysterical. The character must pass a steal test. If fail, that's excellent. I love that.
Cool. And there isn't any dungeon delving implied in the situation. So
no, there isn't. I mean, no, I was being facetious. A call on for will when performing mind-numbing repetitive work. Sweet. Add a trait from life paths. Sequious. I want to look it up. Sequious. Oh, it's a character trait.
Yep.
Okay. I want to look at Resigned to Fate. It's also a character trait. I thought there was a trait. I thought there was a trait that I was felt like there was a trait here. Oh, it was Resigned to Fate that I thought was not a character trait. Well, I'm definitely not taking Resigned to Fate. This is not a character who is Resigned to Fate. She is a character who thinks she has a possibility, right?
Cool.
She's not. Yeah. I mean, if she's the one that's like, if she's the one that is telling everyone like, "Hey, we need to get out of here," then abnormally long tongue. Thanks, Luke. Thanks for just having the weirdest shit you could imagine.
How many points do you have?
3.
Okay.
Might take a die trait. Alert, I seem to remember being a pretty cool die trait. Little electric voices around the character's skull. Echo around the character's skull. Characters make glasses. No. I don't care about range of cover. It's not a thing okay, there we go. Ambitious. That's what she is. She's ambitious, despite having really no good reason to be.
Okay.
I think that she's.
Sounds good.
Both charismatic and charming are call-ons that are 2 points. I'm going to look at both of those. All right. Charming. So often likable. This character is genius.
Ooh, charming is a call-on for soothing platitudes or seduction.
Yep, I'm taking it for soothing platitudes.
Nice.
There we go. All right. Oh, I have one more. That doesn't sound right. I had 3, and charming was a 2-point call on. I don't think it did that math right. Oh no, never mind. I had 4. Okay. Charming, add, and I need another character trait. Just find something wonky. Early riser.
Sounds good.
That's how she gets out, and that's what she does. She gets out early in the morning before work has started. All right, I have 16 resource points. Did I not switch over to this, chat? Did I not switch over to show you all this? I thought I switched over, and then I just realized I was in transition mode. And maybe you just saw our ugly faces the entire time. Not our ugly faces. We have beautiful faces. What am I kidding? But
I thought it was there. I thought it was there for a while, so I think maybe something.
We were good. Okay, cool, excellent. I was still in studio mode, but I had properly transitioned. Okay, groovy. So looking at the rest. All right. Gear, property, relation. All right. So the first thing I'm going to take is a relationship because I need people here. And this person is minor because they're nobody of the humans here are significant. There's nobody important here. So this is going to be a relationship with my owner or the person who I serve.
Awesome.
So okay, now we need kind of names. Now we need like a name class, a name sort of, you know. I'm grabbing Hungarian names.
Great.
I'm trying to. Nope, I can't because I can't seem to click it up. Real names. There we go. Hungarian names. Let's see if. There we go. Yep. So I think that Bodnar is my Narbotund is a minor and is a minor, and they are the person that I serve. And cool. Then I'm gonna do let's see, let's look at year. I'll look at reputations. I don't think I have a reputation. I don't think I can afford a reputation. Only got 11 points left. Property.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I'm a free person now. So I think I have a home that I rent. There we go. Maybe I don't. I'm a shoeless peasant. That sort of implies a lack of like having a place to go home to.
It kind of does.
Yeah. Goodbye property. Never mind. Forget property. Okay, I'm gonna make a relationship with the father of my child.
Cool.
Who is Deek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I'm grabbing Hungarian names off of the fantasy name generator. It's fantasynamegenerators.com. Deek Nandor. Deek Nandor. It is a romantic, hateful relationship. Well, I don't know if I hate right. It's a romantic family relationship. Yeah. I sort of feel like it's not a great relationship.
Okay.
But yep, I'm taking it there. I don't think this was like she was forced to marry this person. I think she married this person as a way of it was a consensual agreement that effectively got her green card equivalent. Like she gained sort of citizenship. She had the choice of, I think she had the choice of, after her time in captivity was complete, she had the choice of basically being a second-class citizen, and she would still be like a bond servant and not have any. She would not be. She was free to leave, but she would have no status in the community. Or she could marry someone in the community and join the community proper, and that's what she did. And so, a relationship with Deke is one of not totally of convenience, but I think it seemed like a good idea at the time. And years later, it doesn't maybe seem so great.
Cool.
Especially now that we've established that she's shoeless. So I don't think either one of them is in great financial status. And they have a child.
Cool. How old is the child?
Well, I think the child, I would love the child to be old enough to sort of be playable, but since she's only been a servant for 5 years, I don't think she had the child until, I don't think she and Yugi, it's a one-on-one game. We're trying this out. It's possible that we might have another player in another session, but for right now this is just Bina. Bina, and she didn't take her husband's name.
Nice.
Bina Janos. All right, Bina Janos. Cool. So I think her child is 4. I think that she married Deke pretty much immediately after getting out and had a child a year later. And so her child's 4. Okay. Gear. Arms. Nope. Shoes. There you go. This is why you cash. Totally. She has ferreted away some coin that her husband does not know about. This is her one bargaining chip that she has with anything. She has some personal effects. I feel like she'd need some tools. She has clothes. Good job. Good job, Bina, having clothes. Man, I would totally take spend that point on shoes. This is definitely
that goes against the idea of the whole game.
I know. I'd be breaking the whole game if I did this. But this is definitely like an incomplete list of stuff. Since you have the book, Judd, do you see anything along the lines of like tools, either farming or?
Hold on, let me check. It could be that you just can't afford them.
It could be. Well, no, it's showing me things like a warhorse, which I can't afford. I mean,
oh, got it.
I
mean, I don't see like I don't see like farming gear.
Yeah, I think it might just be under like personal effects.
Yeah.
What happens with unspent resources? They just go away? I think they just go away.
Yep, they go away.
All right. I kind of want to take a companion animal because, hey, isn't it fun to have a puppy? But I only have 2 left, and I'm not willing to give up either clothes or personal effects or my husband. So much for puppy. So yeah, traveling gear. How did I not see that?
Yep,
Boom.
that's 1 pointer.
Add that. And I think that's it.
Cool.
Just staring at me, Judd.
At 1 point.
Those clothes or those shoes. Okay. I think I've done it. I'm going to create since you've used the site and I haven't, if I click on create a PDF character sheet, that will generate based off this. It will not reset everything I've done, right? It will. I'm going to download this character.
Yeah. I believe it won't, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I just downloaded it. Good. And now let's create a PDF and see what we get. Save. Okay, cool. And I think what's showing up in, all right, that's not bad. So it's showing up in on stream is a fairly decent character sheet. I would definitely transfer all this stuff over to Roll20, but I feel like that would take forever, and I don't think you all want to sit here and watch me like go through. Are you in the you are in the Roll20? Yeah. So I will add Bina, and then I can move stuff over as they're appropriate, I think.
Cool.
And then roll it. Yeah. The Roll20 character sheet is a little intense. It's good stuff for sure, but I don't want to dig through all that right now. I gotta steal a B5. That's awesome. I really hope I don't get hurt. If I do, it's bad. But it'll be easy to raise that health. I have no weapons. I have no armor. I have no social skills except for soothing platitudes. Perfect. Okay. Beliefs. Beliefs and instincts. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing with Burning Wheel and starting. You don't necessarily have to have all of this written right from the go. So you can start with like 2 beliefs and 1 instinct, and then we can just figure it out and play.
Yeah, I feel like the belief about I got to do something about this like incoming invasion is going to be more fun if it's a belief that comes out of play rather. I mean, like I think the idea is that that's the starting situation, but I don't know how. Do you want me to start already knowing this? You want to describe?
Yeah. It's all over town. So I think it's this little. It's a town built around a tower. And the tower is lived in by Sir Bodnar Botund.
Yep.
And it's in the beginning, in certain times of the year, it's where like the farmers and the merchants get together to buy and sell and trade. But all other times of the year, it's a shithole.
Yep.
And off to the east somewhere is the Council of Dukes, and off to the west somewhere is the Elvish Heaven. So don't go there because you don't belong there because you're just a filthy human. And somewhere in the south is the huge forest with the Elvish where the Elven Etharks live, and up to the north are the Dwarven princes.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, I think word gets out that the Northern Army and the Southern armies are moving, and yeah, and you absolutely know.
Cool. But it's not just Bina that knows. Everybody in town is talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it. Yeah, let's make it an open secret.
Awesome.
Or do you want to make it a thing where Bina was serving Bodnar while he was having his missives read to him, and she's the only one who knows?
I kind of like that, actually.
Cool.
I like the idea that Bodnar knows. Maybe some of Bodnar's close attendants know, but awesome. It's a little bit like Arya serving Tywin Lannister, you know,
right.
like I mean, you know, she's a fully grown, you know, she's 25, and not considered stupid, and she's not a captive either anymore. But there's a certain amount of like, she probably should not have just gotten this information, but he's so used to getting such trivial information that she's always there. And it's not strange that she's there. Cool. Yeah, I like that. So my beliefs are, I'm going to start with one about this invasion, because that seems the most appropriate. It doesn't look like you can add your beliefs to this character generator. Like I can't pour anything with it. All right, so I'm just going to write them in. So I can't write them in a PDF. No, I'll put them on the Roll20 sheet, since I'm trying to migrate stuff there eventually. Whoa, there is so much stuff in here. Character sheet, born, life path. I don't see a place for beliefs. Oh yeah, the scripting is something that throws a lot of people off. I am fine with it, but I'm okay with the idea of committing to an action which you may later on regret, and then saying, "Oh, crud." But I totally get why it's not why it's frustrating. Okay. So belief number one, I did find the place to put them in there. Belief number one is where will be crushed like ants. What's the name of this? What's the name of this village? This tower? I think you said it.
I don't think I did. Hold on. Since we're going with Hungarian. Oh no, we're not doing that. I'll shorten it. The name of the town is Utkeri.
All right. Can you spell that for me?
Utkere.
Utkere. Awesome. We'll be crushed like ants if we stay in Utkere. I must convince. This will be fun. I don't think Bina has legal rights to abscond with her child.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I think that's like pretty conventional, that you can't just be like, I'm out and I'm taking my kid with me.
Right.
I mean, that's not even to say that there's anything like wrong with that. That's just seems reasonable. So I must convince Deke to flee with me. Okay, I must convince Deke to flee with me and our daughter, Nara. Okay. Belief number 2 is if word gets out, there will be panic in the streets.
Nice.
Streets. I will keep Bodnar from raising the alarm. All right, these are pretty darn self-serving beliefs here. Okay, so the first belief is all about getting out of town before we're all dead. The second belief is all about not having to compete with everybody else to get out of town by not having the town be alerted to this, or if the town's alerted to gather my things before that they are. These are not really heroic kind of beliefs, but I don't really feel like playing a peasant in this sort of situation calls for a really heroic character.
Yeah.
So, so I those feel honest, like honest beliefs. Like those things are like things that you would do. So,
cool.
All right. So instinct number 1 is always keep Bodnar's flagon full. With ale, right? Yeah, it's totally an instinct. It's like, sort of, as soon as he's drunk from it, she refills it, and so also seems like a great way to serve her, agenda. And instinct number 2. Something along the lines of like, before work, get all of my personal effects in order. I'm looking for like the trigger, because we've established she's an early riser and that she like sneaks out of town,
right,
or sneaks out of places to like take care of her own.
Yeah.
Personally, I wonder if she has a lover. I wonder if there's a person that she like sneaks out in the morning to like catch in the middle of the night. I didn't save any resources. Oh no, I did. I saved a resource point. I could have a really contentious, terrible relationship with somebody. Oh God, yikes. I mean, having a lover would really complicate the whole like fleeing with my husband thing.
Right.
I think in a good way. What do you think, Judd? How are you feeling about like this sort of romantic entanglements?
Whatever you want, man. I'm following you.
Let's go back to ye old character burner. To look like bad relationship. Wait, it's a minor relationship. They're not family. They're romantic. And it's hateful or rivals. How's that gonna work? How would that fit? I think I mean, I think the rivalry could be a very classic sort of scenario of why don't you leave your, I don't think it's, if you'll accept this as a hateful or rival condition, I think it's the kind of strife that happens when you're having an affair with a prolonged affair with somebody.
Okay.
Like they're sick of this. They're sick of this bullshit. Like she's been having an affair with them for a long time. So in the beginning, it's all great and everything's fine, and we'll make it work. It's okay. Our love is the strongest thing there. But after a time, I think it just gets to like, when are you going to leave your husband, and when are you going to? So
I want it to be somebody who's mobile, who like comes in and out a lot.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Well, you said there's a crossroads, right? So possibly a merchant, somebody who comes, or maybe like a farmer who like brings their maybe not a farmer, that's still tied to the ground. Maybe like a hunter, like brings pelts in. They travel around and.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. Yeah, a hunter is tight. Let's do a hunter.
All right.
What does Deke do?
Deke is a wheelwright. Deke takes care of all the
wagon wheels.
The wagon wheels, and the way that she met. I just had a name and I hit refresh on accident. The way that she met Voss Soma, is that he brought in a wagon full of pelts, and the wheel was broken, and Deke was repairing it. And when she's not acting as a when she's not on duty to the Lord, to Lord, that seems like it's a strong name. Who is?
I mean, I think he's a knight. He's like, a knight. Yeah.
Right. When she's not serving Bodnar, it's expected that Bina provides like pleasantries for the customers, for Deke's customers. So she like serves them tea or coffee and like gets them a comfortable place to sit and makes idle conversation with them and gossips with them. And like, that's her job, is to basically like keep them entertained while Deke is laboring away. And most of the time that's just good customer service. And right, like it's not sexual in any way in general.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I get you.
But with Voss, it turned into something bigger.
I laughed because customer service is a word I have to think about in the library a lot. So
yeah,
it's just funny. It strikes me as funny. That's all.
Well, I'm sure it's not the term that she and Deke use, but nevertheless, it's what I'm thinking. All right. Okay, so I spent that last resource point. Huzzah on Voss Soma.
Cool.
The hunter. Wake. Okay, so when Voss is in the village, wake early to see him before Deke. Rise early.
Cool.
Rise early to see him before Deke wakes from his slumber. It's a very specific instinct. but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with very specific instincts. We're playing in a very specific situation. All right, so I have 2 beliefs and 2 instincts. I feel pretty good about those. Anything else I need? It's been a while.
I don't think so.
Cool. I will keep populating the Roll20 character sheet with I'll keep populating the Roll20 character sheet with the stuff from the PDF as we go. But okay, cool. I think I'm good to go. Do you want to start right as she hears the news?
Yeah, awesome. Bodnar is yeah, I mean, I think Bodnar doesn't have scouts. He has a couple of squires. And I think he hears the words. He hears the word about this from Voss.
Oh, so awesome.
And so Voss says, sorry, my upstairs neighbor is like downstairs neighbor is rhythmically banging on our floor, and it's just really weird.
That's yeah, I wonder when people are banging. So if they're banging on your floor, that means they're banging on their ceiling?
Yes. Or they're slamming a door repeatedly. Anyway, let's start the damn game.
Okay, new game. You're in a New York apartment, and your neighbors are weird. We're gonna call this Tiny Apartment and
make $1 million.
There's already a show called Tiny Apartment. It's adorable. You should definitely check it out.
The PDF is gonna make us a dozenaire. Bodnar is he's got his sword in his lap, or he has his axe in his lap, and he's sharpening it, and his squires have his chainmail in like a leather sack filled with sand, and they're throwing it back and forth at each other to scour away the rust. And his dogs are yipping around and fighting over some bones that he's thrown on the floor. And Voss says, I talked to some merchants coming from the north, and I saw it with my own eyes in the south. The armies of the dwarves and the elves are rallying, and they're going to meet right here. This is where the battleground is going to be. And according to a wise woman I talked to in my village, where this tower was built is where they've fought in the past, before we even settled here.
And Bina is standing sort of to the side behind Bodnar as he's telling her, as he's recounting this, and she's refilling up his tankard. And she looks at Voss, terrified, right? I mean, this is terrifying news that the army is going to come tromping through town. And the stone floor of the building is cold on her feet.
Yep.
And she knows every edge of the cobblestone in this. She could walk this cobblestone blind because she knows the way it feels. And she I've forgotten my manners. I'm a serve your guest, Lord Bodnar. And she goes to serve Voss as well from the tankard. She goes to bring him a mug and tries to have a very quick conversation with him privately as she's serving him. And she first looks at him like, hey, hi, right?
Right.
But then she quickly is businesslike and says, have you heard anything from the Dukes of the East? Are they coming to protect us?
Voss says, I don't know anything about the Dukes. It's far above me.
Perhaps you could suggest to Bodnar that he send a runner to go find out. It's not my place. I want to try and convince him to tell Bodnar that he should go check with the Dukes.
Awesome. Make a roll.
Cool. What skill do we think this is? I'm obviously going to angle for soothing platitudes, but it's probably persuasion, if I'm remembering what what I don't think this is soothing platitudes.
Okay.
I'm not saying, oh, you're so wise and mighty and strong.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm about to do to Bodnar in a second. When
cool. But, so persuasion is,
it's rooted in will, I think.
Yep.
All right.
So his will is 3, so the ob is 6.
Yep. I'm not hitting this.
Oh, and you have 1 fate and 1 persona, by the way.
Awesome. I'm gonna try and figure out where those are on this character sheet. 1 and 1, and I can spend those. I can spend fate to open in 6s, and I can spend persona to add dice.
Right, and persona can also be used to kind of save your life if you're in a bad situation.
Yeah. I think you need 2 persona for that, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think that's happening. All right, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try. I mean, yeah, I don't think, you know, this is her longtime lover. I don't think she's gonna be like, maybe she. Let me think about this. Let me think about how Bina gets things done. I'm being direct because I'm Sean.
Right.
Does Bina?
Well, I mean, but maybe you're. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm not sure. I'm curious. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think you're being direct. You're like telling someone to convince someone else to do something. I mean, I think we can just. You've already said it. Just make the persuasion roll. Let's see if you do it.
Cool. I don't think I have a dice roller here. Maybe I do. Let's see if I've got it. Sorry, this will get faster as we go.
Right.
My will is 3. Let's try and roll it. Does that do anything? Nope. There we go. Input value modifiers none. Artha none. Obstacle 6.
Oh, nice.
Hey, I got 2 successes on 3 dice. Not bad.
That is not bad.
Yeah. And even 1 was a 6. I could spend a fate to explode it.
How can you tell that?
If you mouse over it, it shows you the actual roll.
Oh, dag.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice sheet.
That's pretty cool.
All right. So that was a challenging test because
mark that off. You're gonna want that persuasion skill before too long.
Oh, right. It doesn't mark as a challenging will test. It marks as a shit. How do I undo that challenging button? God, I don't. There we go. Okay, I cleared it. I forgot. It's being learned. There we go. Persuasion. It's will based, and I have 1 test. Excellent.
Cool. Yeah, he takes the beer up to his mouth, like takes the stein up to his mouth, and says, like, quietly, because I think the squires have stopped what they're doing and they're talking to Sir Bodnar, and he just says very quiet. This happens very quickly, like before they can really notice. He says, "You'll notice I'm not riding a wheel. My name is not Deke. Don't tell me what to do, woman." And then he drinks. Thank you. The ale is refreshing after the long trip on the road.
She casts her gaze down, as you're supposed to with people if you're higher than your station, so as not to offend.
Yeah.
But it is a hurtful casting of the gaze down. It is showing. And she turns back. Was Bodnar sitting or was he standing as he's sharpening his blade?
Sitting. It's on his lap.
His squires are gonna like put him on all his armor and whatnot, but I feel like it would be appropriate for Bina to do things like putting on his boots or his socks or things like that.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Like
totally.
his personal effects.
Yeah.
So she grabs his boots that she has cleaned, that she has buffed, and his socks that she has washed, and asks, "Lord, shall I prepare you, Lord?"
He
or I guess she doesn't even really ask. She just kind of like walks over and like holds them up in the way that's like, if he says yes, she'll start doing it, and if he says no, she'll take them away. Like sort of like the way you just sort of offer up a drink, like,
right.
And I think it's wordless, right? Like it's she doesn't want to interrupt the conversation,
right? And he puts on he accepts that. He kind of like hands the axe to one of his squires, who I will get names for right now.
Cool.
And
I think she'll be the one to put them on though, like unless.
Oh yeah. He hands the axe to one of the squires, and he allows you to put the boots on.
Awesome.
And he says, "Vas, be my guest for a while. Share meals with us here. I'd like it if you didn't leave for a little bit. You can help Pap and Judas with their chores here. They have a wolfskin cloak that needs mending, and no one knows how to deal with wolfskin like you do. You were the one who brought it to me." And Vas says, "Well, I have to go." And he goes, "Oh, I'm not asking. You're not leaving the tower today. You're my guest." And he puts his hand on his shoulder. He says, "You're going to eat the finest meats. You're going to sup my finest ale. You'll be served by the finest servant in all of the crossroads. Don't go anywhere, Vas." And like as he says that, he takes his axe back, and then he's kind of like leaning on it.
And I think this whole time, Bina is like on her knees. Bina's on her knees. She has like she has his like shoes and socks, like shoes and boots ready to put on, but she doesn't want to interrupt like the moment. Like I think she's good about like knowing like timing. Like you don't like interrupt your lord when he's saying something important by being like, "No, lift up your foot," right? Like
right.
So
yeah, she's I don't even think you have to say anything to him. Like he just does it. Like his boots are on. Like you guys do this without any words.
Oh, absolutely. But my point, well, the reason why I'm saying Bina's hesitating is that she wants to have an opportunity to say something to him. Cool. But maybe in fact she'll just have done it, and she'll wait until Voss is excused, and then she can talk to him.
Yeah, the squires are these burly 16-year-old boys, both of whom have full beards, and are well fed and built like as my mother would say, brick shit houses. And they like
term.
Yeah, they take Vaz back to the stables to look at that cloak.
Nice.
And they leave you alone with Bodnar.
Awesome. So as I'm serving him and attending to him, I say, "Lord Bodnar, you're wise to keep Voss at hand. Few are as swift with the spear or a bow as he is. I can see that your fine mind is already making brilliant plans.
I don't want him raising the alarm. I want the alarm to come from me.
Oh, yes, agreed. But he did not say anything of the dukes to the east. I wonder whether your voice might carry louder if you knew first whether the dukes plan to attend. Should they come, it would be a whole different thing. It would, it would change everything.
Yeah. And I think he walks over to a tapestry, and it's a world map, and you see the crossroads in the middle, with the tower and a knight, and to the south are these kind of ethereal, frightening elves, and to the north are stony dwarves, and to the east is this port city, and the dukes all have swords in one hand and scales in the other to measure gold.
Nice.
And he says, the dukes don't care for us. No help is coming from the east. Don't be naive.
Oh, question is, he's a knight. Is he, from what Bina knows, does he have a lord that he swears fealty to? I mean, is he a knight totally because he has this? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And is that a lord, one of the dukes of the east, or is it somebody else?
Yep. It's a duke in the east. Yep.
Okay. But
matter of fact, it's a duchess.
It's a duchess. Does she have a name that Bina knows and should know?
Her name is Duchess Varga Claudia.
But surely, sir, you being as esteemed as you are, Duchess Claudia it is her duty to come to the aid of one of her knights in such a time. She would be remiss to leave you on her. She would be breaking her own oaths. No, permit me. Please excuse me if I speak out of turn, but it's her. But it's just the two of us here. Does she not owe you this much? And I'm super using soothing platitudes to try and get him to send word out.
Make a roll. I mean, this is clearly a roll, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you fail, I mean, he's not going to be nasty, but he's going to lose his temper a little bit.
Sure. Skills and
the ob is 3.
All right. Well, I have a 3 in it. Is that correct? I think I have a 3. I think that's all I can afford to do.
Cool.
Skills, stats, attributes.
Anything you want to fork or can fork?
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about forking. Man, I've been playing too much Torchbearer. Torchbearer's just like, this is your skill. Yeah, I have lots of wises.
What you got?
I've got wises that I think may be germane are gossip wise and peasant wise. And
I think gossip wise will totally do it.
Yeah. The reason why I was thinking peasant wise is that I think I know what people like, what the other workers in the village would be expecting.
Right. Right.
And
cool.
and that it's no shame to him. Like nobody in the village would think it's shameful for him to go look for help in such a scenario.
Oh, of course not.
So yeah. So I'm gonna forking. I forgot about forking. Yeah. So I say I say Lady Claudia couldn't stand to have another blow to her reputation. I mean, she if she wants to be, if she wants the other dukes to respect her, she must serve her. She must protect her knights. Besides, the people of the village, they would see you as wise, not as wise to reach out to her. So that's how I'm bringing those two.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. Forkin.
Cool. I think her full name is Varga Claudia Botund. So we'll keep the Botund as the family name.
Awesome. And she would be using Botund then. She'd be using the family name.
Cool.
She wouldn't be too familiar with a duchess, even when speaking to the knight.
Cool.
Varga Claudia. Okay. So I'm gonna roll this. Nope. I'm gonna roll this. Modifiers. I have 2 forks. Artha, none. Obstacle 3. Come on, luck.
Oh.
Well, that's 2, but I have 2 6s in there. So I'm gonna spend that 1 fate.
Nice.
Where was it? Different sheet. Did I have the right screen up? I don't. Let's switch screens. Okay. Let's spend that 1 fate that I can find. Where is it? Oh man, this I will learn this. Learn the system. I did find it earlier. Now everybody, 6s are future worms. Come on, I got this somewhere. Okay, there we go. Fate, I have 0, and I have put 1 fate into soothing platitudes, and I have done 1. What's a same of is a difficult test? I don't know. Look it up later.
Yep.
I think it's difficult. And
I'll look it up while you do stuff.
Cool. And I'm gonna roll 2d6 exploding because I'm spending their fate. Come on. No. All right. Fate spent, but to no avail. Yep. Got a 2 and a 3.
Heartbreaking.
I know. It was a good. I still stand by it though. That was 2 6s to get my lord to do something directly in lines with my belief was absolutely worth it. So
it was legit.
Yep.
So how many dice?
Well, it was 5. Oh, right. It's based on how many you have before you spend it. It was 5. So I'm sure it's just routine. Never mind.
Yeah, it's easy.
Not that easy. Okay. I got a routine test. Does that look like something in the?
Yeah. And I think you feel Bodnar like tipping on the edge of a knife, and he turns on you and says, Bina, you would have done well in the capital, but no. I'm not sending any riders to the east. We will deal with this ourselves. And you know he's lying. Like, something's wrong. Like, you can just tell from the music in the background of the TV show that he is fucking lying. And he's not a very good liar. And I think the other thing because you forked in gossip-wise in there, is there's gossip that Duchess Varga is his aunt.
Mm.
And he is Duchess Varga's least favorite nephew.
Mm.
And that is why he was sent to this swineherd, this glorified swineherd in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So, yeah, he says, we'll be fine. We'll close up the gates. Our walls are stout. There won't be any problems.
Of course, my lord. I'll see to your other affairs. I'll see to your I mean, again, she wouldn't handle any of his weapons, but I do feel like I'll see to your stable boy and make sure that your horse is being prepared in the event that you have need. She's essentially just trying to excuse herself at this point.
Yeah, he says, don't bother with the stables. Get my kitchen in order. That's what's going to be important.
Yes, of course. And yeah, so she refills his tankard.
Yeah.
Before she leaves.
Yeah, and then he walks to the stables, but yeah.
Okay. Groovy. Do I, when he's walking, is the lingering feeling that she has still, does it feel like does it look like he's walking with a purpose right now? I'm wondering, she's sort of like, goes to leave and then stops and is watching him out of the corner of her eye. And I guess I'm asking, is like the audience still hearing the doomful music? Because she's contemplating, should I go sneak up and see what he's about to do? Right. Or does it look like this is such a routine, regular thing that
nothing feels routine about this?
Okay. So she pretends like she's gonna go to the rules clarification for me, because I haven't played Burning Wheel in so long. Call-ons let you re-roll in the case of a tie, or anytime?
Nope. Anytime. Once a game.
Once a game. Because I have a call-on for Soothing Platitudes.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's passed, but it's good to know.
Okay. Yep.
It's good to know. I'm sure I'll have another opportunity to use it.
Yes.
No so I think she's going to pretend she's going to pretend to go down to the kitchens, and she's actually going to try and sneak up to the stables and hear what he's saying, what he's doing.
Cool.
And because I know the keep very well, I'm not going to follow him directly. I'm going to take the servants' passages that will get to the same place, and it'll probably take longer, but I'll move quickly, knowing that he's not going to hear me or notice me once I'm in the servant passages. I'm basically trying to fork in peasant wise into my stealthy role.
Awesome.
To sneak up behind him.
Yeah.
So, and if he doesn't have observation trained,
right,
I think, then he has to do this as I've got double. It's a versus test, but he's at double odds against stealthy.
Yes. And I get to roll some dice.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Without a character sheet, if you just type /R space, however many d6, like /R space 4d6, will roll 4d6. And if you wanted to explode, you put an exclamation mark at the end.
Okay.
If you want the fancy thing I've got, you've got to make a character and then add extra stuff. Okay.
Cool.
So my stealthy, I think, is B2. Let me double check. Stealthy is B2. Well, forking peasant wise,
okay.
I may try and fork in. Work wise would essentially be the same thing of just knowing where to go.
Yeah.
And Cell-wise is about being imprisoned. Yeah, I think it's just pleasant-wise. I don't feel like there's anything else that's
cool. Yeah. Your obstacle is 1. So he rolled 3 successes, but he doesn't have observation training. So every 2 successes counts for 1. So his obstacle is 1.
Cool. Let's see if I can get a success on 3 dice. It seems like it should be doable. We'll find out. And my intent is to get close enough that I can overhear the conversation that he's having in the stables. Stealthy B2. This sheet. There we go. Modifiers 1. Artha 0. Base ob 1. Nope.
No.
0 successes.
Holy cow.
Dice aren't loving me.
Yeah. So you walk, you stealth out to Voss, saying, what are we going to do? And he says, he like puts his hand, like meaty hand on Voss's shoulder, and he says, Voss, you're simple in the head. It comes from being a peasant. Well, we're going, and he looks and he sees you. And says, and he stops talking and walks over.
And I think if this is, I'm going to invoke a little Blades flashback bit. If this seems reasonable, I think if I can, she has his gloves. She has his winter gloves that he takes off when he's wearing, and she says, "My lord, I didn't want you to catch a cold." This is total falsehood. I mean, I'm lying my ass off to him, obviously. I don't know if he'll just like accept that as a normal thing, but
it's a really good lie. I just want you to make an ob 1 falsehood roll.
Okay, cool.
Which, because you do you have falsehood?
No.
Okay, so it's double to ob 2.
Yeah. I'm just gonna roll will. Damn it, I should have made will my higher mental stat. It's fine. Perception still makes more sense for her. Yeah. So we're gonna roll will.
I mean, it's a really good lie. It's.
I feel like it. I can still fork though, right? Even though I'm you can't fork when you're rolling.
Because you're technically rolling the stat. You can't fork into stat rolls.
Oh, stats can fork into stats. Skills fork into skills. So I could fork another stat in, theoretically.
And if someone wanted to help you, they would have to use stats. It's
right.
Dicey.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything.
Okay.
I mean, I could say perception, like, look, there's a storm coming or something like that. I bet that feels yeah. Okay. Let's see if luck can turn around for me. Ob 2. Nope. 1 success.
He takes the gloves out of your hand, kind of roughly, and says, "Kitchen."
Yes, my lord. And she disappears.
Yeah. Cool. You're in the kitchen and you hear him, like, you're going through things and kind of taking stock, and then about 3 minutes later you hear horses in the courtyard. and you hear him bellowing. You know, what's the name of the town again? Oh, that would have been a good thing to write down.
I don't know that we named it yet. Schitt's Creek.
We definitely did.
All right. Chat, anyone recall the name of the town? It was early on.
Hold on. I was it Tower? No. What? It wasn't. So I'm gonna rename it.
That's fine.
It's Karakagi, which means hub in Hungarian.
Awesome. Can you spell for me?
Karekaggy.
Karakagi. Awesome. I like it. Is it written in your instincts? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it just says when boss is in the village.
Okay, that's fine.
And we'll yeah.
Cool. So yeah, he says he's bellowing, "People of Karakagi!" And you can tell like he's about to make the announcement.
I mean, I'm gonna try and sneak out to go find Deke, but like I don't think I can do it in a time frame that is shorter than when he's just gonna go make this announcement. So I think I'm just like all the other servants. I'm sure none of us are doing our work at this point.
Right.
I'm looking around to see. I'm going out to look outside, to look in the stables, to look in the square, where the people are gathering, and I want to be able to be there to sort of get a read on people's reactions.
Yep. And he's gathering folk together, and he's just the squires are joining in. People of Karakagi, and they're kind of herding them all towards the courtyard. And people are kind of gathering near the kitchen doors, and an old woman nods at you and says, "What's this going to be about then, Bina? Eh?"
She's totally gonna gossip because she has gossip wise. This is the thing. She says she knows she was gonna try and keep it quiet, but it's too late. So now she's gonna see if having a little extra. She's now gonna see if having like a little knowledge in advance is gonna help her out at all. So she says, "Word is that the armies of the west and the north are coming to do battle." And she kind of like looks up and around, like eyes, and says, "Apparently this is the place that they have fought in the past." And she shudders. She is scared. I mean, she's doing this because she's hoping that this woman who's been around might have some stories to share as well, but she's legit scared. This isn't all like being cool and coy. And she's like, "Has this ever happened? I've been here, let's see, 10 years, right? About, has this ever happened in Karagagi before?"
Yeah, her name is Old Novak.
Old Novak.
And she says, my grandmother talked about it, but it hasn't happened in any of our lifetimes.
Did your grandmother say whether anyone survived?
She said it was a bad time. It's one of those things that was so bad she barely talked of it.
Looks like bad times come again.
She makes like a, like an evil eye sign, a warding sign with her fingers.
Yeah.
She says to you, in my grandmother's time, the knight who was here, he went to face when the dwarvish princes and the elf etharchs met. The knight who is here went to face them and beg their mercy, and he never returned.
Did they grant the mercy he begged for? Or did they run roughshod over the tower?
Roughshod. They had to rebuild the tower. And like, now that you think of it, there is a grove called Old Tower Grove. And before the stream changed, before the stream changed its direction after some bad floods, that was where the tower was. And the foundations of it are still there, but it's gone. And you have a pretty good idea of what is really old and what isn't. And it is kind of weird. Like the inn of this town is the oldest building in the town. Mm-hmm. But the tower is fairly new.
Right.
And that's why it
was
rebuilt.
And I don't think for Bina, that who didn't grow up here, that she ever like took stock of that. It was just, this is just what's always been here. And she, and so she kind of looks at the tower with like a different perspective of like, I just thought this had been here forever, but I guess, 2 generations ago, it was, so 50, 60 years ago it was built. And
which is super new, for yeah. They're gathering folk together. And it takes about 20 minutes, half hour, and just about everybody who's going to be who's in the town, all 300 people are kind of crowded around the courtyard. And people are like sitting on top of the wall, which is, waist high.
So it's hard to run over, but you could sling weapons and certainly breach. And if an army is coming, it means nothing.
Right. It's good for bandits. It's not much good for anything else.
Yeah.
It's, it'll keep some sheep out, but yeah.
Yep. I think if it, so I was under the impression that he just kind of yell it, but if he's waiting for everyone to gather, then I'm going to say, I'm just going to tell her, like, I don't think there's any bones between servants about like when they're shirking their duties. And I just say, I have to go find Nara. I'll wash the dishes later. Right. Like, it's just,
She says, "Of course, dear, of course." And then he makes eye contact with you across the courtyard, and he's holding his he still has his beer stein that he walked off with.
Yep.
And he holds it up and upside down to you.
It's my instinct. Let's let it get me into trouble. And I say, like, I think I was just about to leave with nothing, and I go back into the kitchen, and I say, the Lord's belly is never full, and I grab a flagon, a large flagon that would you know, and spike the keg or you know, tap the keg and fill it. Sure, it's all very practiced at this point. And move to him swiftly. My feet muddy, I'm sure by now, or they probably already were before, but walking through the courtyard. She knows just the way of the courtyard where there aren't sharp rocks. So like I don't take a direct path. It's sort of the circuitous, like there's a little grassy patch over here that's softer, and the mud is, you know, and there isn't broken cobblestones over there. And so she makes her way quickly, but slightly circuitously over to the Lord, all the while like keeping the flagon from sloshing too much, at least. I'm sure a little bit sloshes, but
yep.
Yeah. Well, you know, she was shoeless peasant, so this is a feature of the character,
right?
Oh my God. Oh, I have a horrible idea. I want to back this up just 1 second.
Yep.
Is there anything, I mean, this is not Bina, but she's also feeling really desperate, and burning wheel is a thing that tests your beliefs. And so I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the kitchen that would cause a person to get horribly sick? Not die sick, but like could Bina, like, well, she's about to fill his mug, and I'm just thinking about this. Could she poison him?
Right.
Like, is this even a possibility? Because he hasn't announced it yet. And like,
yeah. So that's not necessarily something you would know, but old lady Novak would totally know that.
Right. Like, I definitely don't have poisoner wise.
Right.
But so if it's okay with you, I want to back up just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I say I'm going to go to get my daughter. He waves, and I go, his belly is never full. And as I'm like spiking it, I turn to her and I say, he's going to tell everyone, and it's going to cause a panic. I'm afraid for all of us. And he's too damn proud to go ask the Dukes of the East for their aid. Besides, his aunt would probably never give it to him, even if he did ask. But if he tells everyone now, we've committed ourselves. And she looks like, again, this isn't Bina. She's not a poisoner. She's not like a stone cold killer. But like, she's feeling really pressured. She's like, do you think that there's anything that we have that would... Could we make him sick? And this is a real, like, she's just being honest. Like, she doesn't know what else to do, but just say, like, could we make him sick?
Old Novak thinks to herself for a second, and she grabs a couple of roots and crushes them. They're hanging, you know, in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And she grabs a couple things and rubs them all together and shoves them in the bottom of the cup and says, pour the beer over this.
You've saved us all, old Novak. And she fills it up.
Cool.
And then we cut to the same exact description I had, except for being extra ginger about not spilling it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And he... Yeah, you give it to him, and he says, where is Varys? And Varys is this shepherd's daughter who has a very beautiful singing voice. And somebody like props her up on a stone. And he says, sing the Tower Knight's Lament. And she sings this beautiful song that everybody in this town knows. And it's about a knight who rules this tower at the crossroads and goes and talks to the great people of the North and of the West and never comes back. And
there seem to be a lot of these stories. A knight goes off and like this is a common theme. Like a knight goes off to do a thing and they never return. Yeah.
Well, you realize that this song is written about the thing that old lady Novak told you about. Like this is the song. And while she's singing it, he's draining the beer. And you see, you know, he's pretty comfortable in the saddle. That's his job, is to be a professional, you know, horse cavalry soldier. And as he's sitting there, he just looks more and more uncomfortable. And he goes to his squires and he says, can't hold them in the courtyard. And one of them laughs and says, now? And he says, I'm going to cuff you right in the mouth if you don't get out of my way. And he's not paying, presumably at this point, he's paying all attention to the girl singing and the people in the courtyard. Yes. Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm slipping away.
Yeah. And he gets off his horse and like while the singing and everyone's looking at that, but people are definitely noticing that he's like leaving. And as she goes into the final choruses, people are like join in, and he runs to an outhouse.
Nice.
And when the song is over, the squires try to get another round going, and they get another round going, and they draw it out as long as they can, and people are kind of starting to trickle away to do, go home and do their thing.
Right. It's like everyone come and they heard the song. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're trying to hold people back. And being like, Sir Bodnar has news.
I go to one of the squires. I've poured out the ale at this point, the rest of the flagon. I don't want to poison anyone else on accident.
Right.
And I go to one of what are the squires' two names?
The squires' names are Pap and Dudas.
I go up to Pap and I say, Pap, perhaps you should attend to Lord Bodnar. He needs you in this time. No, you're his favorite squire. You should be there at his side.
I
hear him moaning. I hear him calling you. Says, you are the only one he trusts. He must have something important he wants you to say.
Cool.
I want to use soothing platitudes to try and get him to leave so that they can't keep the crowd in.
Yep. His op is just 2.
Awesome.
He's young.
Bum, 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 bum.
And was that Pap or Dudas?
That was Pap.
Okay.
I arbitrarily picked one that I felt like, and I'm going to describe this if that's okay, but in Bina's opinion, Pap is the one that's the least secure.
Got it.
Right? Cool. Like he's the least sure of himself. So yeah. So I think I think this is I think I'm gonna fork in work-wise and just say like it's your duty to be at his side when he's ailed, and if you feel that he needs help, then perhaps you should call the physician. But it's his squire's duty to be there for him.
I think old lady Novak comes up and says, she says all of the best squires are there in the old stories when their knight is in need, and she offers you a helping die.
Oh, my only friend, old lady Novak. Thank you. Cool. I think nope, that's the wrong Roll20 sheet. Okay. Soothing platitudes. So I'm getting 2 helping dice, or sorry, 1 fork and 1 helping die.
Yep.
And no Artha, and the Ob is 2.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
Success.
Yeah, he runs off, and Dudas is trying to hold this shit together, but it's not going well. Cool. And as a matter of fact, yeah, no. Yeah, Dudas is trying to hold it together, and he's not.
Cool.
People are starting to trickle away, and I think some time goes by, and Dudas is red in the face, and he's just muttering about peasants who won't listen, and they've sealed their own fate. And he goes storming into the tower.
I think Bina's she's biding her time. She doesn't want to get caught going out, but at this point, when those 3 are all gone, she feels confident. There's no one left to. Now, Voss totally could spot her, but but there's no one left in authority to stop her from leaving. So when she was previously planning on sneaking out, now she looks around. She's surreptitious, but she's gonna leave the keep and go find her husband.
Okay.
And with that, do you want to call scene and take a little short break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Cool. So, folks, we'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks so much for hanging out with us as we find out the story of Bina and whether or not she can save her family before they're all overrun. We'll find out, or maybe not. We'll find something. So
we'll find out something. You're going to find out something.
So,
I don't know what it's going to be.
See you all soon.